In honor of Q&A tradition, being asked earlier what my coolest playmat was, I'm going to show this off. This is the champion mat to Digimon Fusion. Only one in the world to exist. I actually just picked it up off of the market. Interesting fun fact. I actually have all three of the Digimon mats from the Dead card game. Actually, really shocked that they made mats for that, but they lookin' hella fire. Alright, let's dig into the Q&A, shall we? We had to dig out Sassy Red Robbie for these fantastic questions. First question comes from Gerald Lloyd. He said, what is the dumbest Yu-Gi-Oh card ever created? I'm going to give it up to Substitute. Not having a once per turn restriction on it, degenerating an entire format for absolutely no reason. He ruined so much Yu-Gi-Oh for so many people, and it's literally absurd. Just the damage that was caused by one little toad friend. You know, you don't really. There are many broken degenerate cards, but just having not once per turn restrictions on cards, especially at that stage in the game of Yu-Gi-Oh, what the fuck were you expecting to happen? Like, just my 2 cents. Wicked Goomba asked, "What is your favorite season of Yu-Gi-Oh?" And my favorite season is actually Season 4. I know a lot of people didn't like the Sealbury Caucus arc for what it is. Season 5 is... The last arc is... I love the last arc, don't get me wrong. Especially listening to Eyes on the Japanese opening. I fucking love it. There's just something about watching the God card smash a fucking serpent in the face. It was really good. And then, which color of the gadgets is your favorite? I gotta give it up to Green Gadget. At least Green Gadget can get over shit. Yellow was pretty worthless, and Red was just good for sitting in defense mode in the mirror back in the day. He had a really fat ass. I appreciated that about Red Gadget. That's me. Trey Torres asked, what's your favorite deck from each format you have played in this children's trading card game based off Shadow Realms? Okay, hold on here. So my favorite deck from each format I have played. That's a lot you're asking here, homie. I'm going to just give you my favorite decks of all time. Frog FTK, because paying $20 on a core and selling it for $60 on eBay was beautiful. Zodiac, True Draco, I love that deck. Based Monarch format with basic Monarchs was fun. Dark Arm Dragon with Necroface before the release of Thunder King. That deck was fucking fun. Yeah, it's Teledad, but still. 2-0 Lightsworn format with Christia was also really fun. And of course, yours truly, the gadgets themselves. I loved it. They were pretty good. Chad22345 asked, but Robbie, why are you not going to Nationals this year? Well, first off, I don't really want to spend that kind of money because it would just be me and one friend going. It's a 16-hour drive. I love everybody. You're going to have me for the 200th. You know, this is the first Nationals in 10 years I have not attended. It's just kind of got fucked with it being in Texas. But for the most part, currently not planning to go to that. Alright. Guard Convoy asked, I'm currently stuck in a rut because my job and distance. Where going to locals is not feasible. Realistically, I might get to attend 1 to 3 regionals a year because the cost of attending multiple events alone is just too high to justify on top of meta staples. Then I have no problem spending cash on it if I was attending multiple events. Okay. I love this game and want to get better, but the friends I play with every week dislike the notion of learning to play more competitively and never want to go to events. Any suggestions as to maybe get them to see that more? Man, I love these pages. More competitive playstyle would make the game more enjoyable for them, or has for them as it has for me, or until circumstances change, should I slow down my competitive side so that I don't alienate my friends from constantly beating them. Thank you for all the content that you make. Your videos continue to push me to want to dive deep into the game more, and I'm hoping that soon I'll get to really delve into the competitive scenes. First off, Tell your friends to stop being assholes. Tell them that if they ever expect to get better at the game of Yu-Gi-Oh, they're going to have to try. Alright, maybe that was a little bit too harsh from my side of things, but it's not that hard to want to learn how to better yourselves, especially if you have the resource pool available to you. Go to your house and print out proxies. Do what we do with Vanguard. This isn't too hard. It's something called paper rarity. Alright? Go home, print out all your proxies. Supply your friends with the paper they need to get better at the game. It is absolutely easy. You're going to spend a couple of dollars on ink. Build some tier 1 meta decks. It's like 3.4 by 2.25, I think is the measurements to print them out. Put them in sleeves. Play test with your friends. If you're the only one that needs to spend money, that's fine. But I think the main complaint is your friends can't afford things. In that access, supply them paper rarity. Play your games, alright? Proxies will do you fucking wonders, homie. If you supply them with the tools, maybe they'll actually get better inadvertently because of that. Now, that's just something I've kind of picked up. As for your attending 3 events a year, it sounds like money's not an issue, but I'm going to say this anyway. Honestly, I would just pick a tier 1 deck up, sell it after the event, lose your 10-12%. Call it a day there. At least you can go to your 1 to 3 regionals and get that out of the way. As for events being too far out of the way, there's not really much you can do about that. It's just kind of how the cookie crumbles. I've actually never had a locals within 20 minutes of my house, but I finally got lucky and I have one after like 10 years. But for the most part, give your friends some pieces of paper. Tell them to start playtesting. I get the mentality of wanting to play this game for fun, but better yourselves as competitive TCG players. Advancing yourself and alienating your friends is never a bad thing. Most people will admire the fact that you're trying to better yourself, but give them some damn pieces of paper and tell them to get better at the game. Pretty straightforward. Shady Karibo asked, "What's good, YouTube? House of Chumps here." Oh, sorry. Yeah, not really much going on today. Just a nice little peaceful day. Yugioh XOR asked, "Robbie, as an avid fan of your channel, what is your favorite deck and format? You've stated that you love Spirals and Altergeist, so it piqued my interest." Well, Yugioh XOR, favorite deck is Gadgets. I love it. Favorite format, I love Frog FTK format, not because of Frog FTK, because the format was really fun before Frog FTK kind of just ruined everything. But, yeah. Alright, Selza Yamato. I actually stared at this question for a little bit. I believe he's playing in the Zodiac tournament this month. As an upcoming player that plans on playing competitively next season, what is your advice? Anything in general? First off, take the advice I stated earlier in this video, Selza. Before you make commitments to want to play something, paper rarity it. This is actually something that I've started to kind of adapt more towards, well, from our Vanguard mentalities to Yu-Gi-Oh. Proxy it up, test it before you commit any real money. You'll be doing yourself a huge service in that regard, at least in terms of ratios. Is there a chance of shit stacking? Absolutely, but it's playtesting, man. Number 2, make sure you have one hell of a fucking test group. I will say test groups mean absolutely everything in the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! If you have players striving to get better at the game with you, you guys can find those interactions that you're struggling with and better yourselves. I think that's one of the important things, is as you journey down life, if you can bring other people with you, it's a good thing. But remember, your test group is only as good as their best player. Fun fact. So if you are broadening your horizons, try to bring in better players, I think is the route I want to go with this. But experience, adapt, ask questions. Don't be afraid to ask why every once in a while. You might get a shitty answer back from the community, but do everything that you can do within your learning strengths, whether you're a visual learner, a do-it-yourself learner, any of these other things. All the terms that you've seen in real life, adapt them to yourself. Take advantage of what you know, how you know, what you know, and just apply it to the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! You'll be surprised the little mentalities you'll be able to adapt playing the game. But for the most part, take advantage of your own strengths, your own weaknesses. Try to get over your humps. And honestly, I think you'll be a great up-and-coming player, Salsa. Honestly, as long as you're willing to put the time and effort into these things, you will absolutely be rewarded. There's absolutely no reason why you won't. It's one of the cool things about the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! If you put time in and learn, the game will sufficiently reward you, contrary to popular belief. So, hope that answers your question, Selza. At least to the degree I hope it does. Definitely Bioshock asked, will you release Despito 2? Didn't they just announce Despito 2 at E3? I could be wrong. But, Solomon Olday asked, where in the USA are you from, and what's your local's name? If I ever go to the US, I want to know where to go for mild Yu-Gi-Oh! Well, Solomon, I actually live in Indiana. I have several locals. One of them is Rivals Gaming up in Elkhart, Indiana, about an hour and 20 minutes from me. We have another locals in Fort Wayne, Hot Sauce. My key locals I intend is Gauntlet Food and Games up in Angola. We have our locals every Thursday night, and it is always some fire up there in terms of competition, but it's very good. Hope that answers your question. Indiana is the best place ever, man. Cornfields and everything. FG asked, why do you say ABC Dragon Turd? Because he is a little turd. Look at him. If you've ever seen Dragon Buster do his thing, you know damn well he's gonna shit on you. Hope that answers your question. Daniel Witt asked, I'm a fat piece of shit but love Yu-Gi-Oh! How do you keep from joking people who don't read their effing cards? So I've come to accept the fact that people can't read in the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! Much like most of the community. It doesn't bother me as much as it used to, honestly. Especially since half of my deck is German usually, I always have translations. What boggles my mind is people are too damn afraid to ask for some fucking translations. Then they get mad at you, like, why are you playing foreign cards? Well, confines of the rules say I'm allowed to. Number two, why aren't you asking me for translations if you don't understand something? I can explain to you what my cards do all day, but if you're not actually engaging with me and asking me for said translation, technically, it's your fault, not mine. I'm just saying, like, I get the double whammy, because my shit's foreign. Gerald Lloyd asked, how long did it take to open almost 800 megatins? About 24 hours, spread across 4 people. First year, oh, that was with sorting too. Like, we didn't sort the commons, we had to sort, like, the ultras and shit, the secrets, the supers. Yeah, it was a nightmare. We're going to be doing it again this year. Eric Lynn Harris asked, how many inches? How many inches of what? I'm 6 foot. Drummer Boy 2000 asked, what was the worst thing to happen to Yu-Gi-Oh? It's actually the guy that Falcon punched the wall at Nationals in, what was it, Minneapolis? Back in 2010, 2011. I really wish you would have yelled Falcon Punch, but it's not a good idea to support something like that. A little bit of a backstory here. There's a guy that got his stuff stolen, and then he got a bad ruling. So instead of, doing the right thing and just calming down, he went outside and punched a hole in the side of the escalator wall. Let that sink in for a moment. Yu-Gi-Oh! Is serious business, but to watch somebody do this while standing next to you within a couple of footsteps, you kind of just, you're like, what is life? I don't know, man. The way that people in this community go, the fighting is the worst part, obviously, for the most part. I think you wanted me to say Master Rule 4 was the worst part, but it really isn't. Master Rule 4 is fine. I just wish people in this community would stop having aneurysms when things don't go their way and actually act like adults. for the most part. Well, we're gonna wrap up part 3 here with an interesting little fortune cookie for you. We're only about halfway through the Q&A. So, Cells, I hope I answered your question about wanting to be an up-and-coming player. I honestly hope we also covered the other important questions in this video, especially the rut one. I think that was pretty good. And that's all I have for this video, guys. Deuce Arenos, my audience Reno. Till part 4. Wonder what color shirt Robbie we're gonna get then. The ride never ends, guys. Make sure you enable those notifications to get the latest videos that are being posted on this channel. Make sure you guys check out VanCole40 for my Cardfight Vanguard channel. And join me and House of Champions on the Zodiac Duelist TV Twitch stream. We'll be interacting with our audiences. And please check out No Limit Gaming and LGTCG.com for the cheapest trading cards on the market. Thanks for watching, guys, and please have a good day.